Let's now get into some politics. Let's talk about ODM leader Raila Odinga. And he has downplayed the loss in last week's by-election by ODM candidates Chris Karan and Irshad Sumra. He says the party is still strong despite the dismal showing in UGENYA and EMBAKASI South mini polls. Now, Raila was speaking after meeting with a section of leaders from the Rift Valley at his Capitol Hill office, and these were his exact words.
There are no issues at all in ODM. There are no differences in our party. The two by-elections are really like a drop of water in the ocean. ODM remains a very strong and united party. People may be commenting here and there, and that's their democratic rights. Elections are won or lost. So the fact that somebody has lost an election is not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. That's what Honorable Raila Odinga had to say. Let's take a look at some of the numbers that came out of that UGENYA by-election before we bring in our guest, of course, who is the MP-elect of UGENYA. These are the numbers that were pulled out of there. David Ochieng, 18,738 votes, 56%. Chris Karan, 14,507 votes, 43%. And thereafter followed by Daniel Juma and Brian Onyango. I've been talking about him since the program began. He is now here with us in studio. Let's now bring in Honorable David Ochieng, MP-elect UGENYA, who now joins us on the program. Many thanks indeed for joining us. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Faidi.
First things first. How did you do it? ODM machinery against you, so many rumors swirling. How did you pull this off?
You know, all politics is local. And we ran a very local campaign that spoke to the needs of our people, the needs of the young people, the needs of the women in the village, the needs of school-going children, and the needs of, you know, widows and mothers and old people. We basically decided to narrow down to service delivery, things that touch the heart of the ordinary person in UGENYA.
You believe you're able to speak to them where it mattered?
I mean, I grew up there. I went to school there. I'd been the MP for 4.5 years, and I did what I needed to do to ensure that I address some of these issues. And so they know my capacity, they know my genuineness, they know how authentic I am, and how, you know, passionate I am with and in addressing the issues that afflict them.
Others have tried a similar strategy. It didn't work for them. They tried to be genuine, to speak with the people, to speak local issues. What was different for you?
Not much. I mean, look, I've been a very lucky human being. I became MP at a very young age of 31, and I did, in my opinion, a good job in my first term. And so when I went back to them, in this by-election, I didn't have to lie. I didn't have to, you know, create castles in the air. I was running on real things, things that can be seen, can be touched, can be heard, can be felt.
Can be felt.
So that I didn't have to create stories, you know, to win an election. I
want to talk about some of the reactions that have come out of your victory. The Deputy President himself tweeting, saying the hustler nation has spoken. And there was that phrase that came after that, Jameni, acheni Mungu aitwe Mungu.
Yes.
His supporters taking credit for your victory. Did you receive any assistance, financial, strategy, encouragement from the Deputy President or his supporters?
Thank you so much, Wahiga. Wahiga, you know, the name of the Deputy President was brought into this campaign by the ODM Brigade. If you play the clips there, from the day one, the campaign was that this by-election was between Ruto and Raila. Now, in my campaigns, I'm very clear to my wananchi, Raila was not in the ballot. Uhuru was not in the ballot. Ruto was not in the ballot.
You still haven't answered my question.
But I'm going to answer this just now.
You're going to answer my question, okay.
Yeah, so just to let you understand,
briefly,
to let you understand how that tweet came about, in my opinion. So if you've gone to town claiming that this is a battle between Ruto and Raila, whether I am aware of that or not, then they would definitely jump in it. You build it as a Ruto and Raila election. The person you say Ruto is supporting has beaten you. So, in my opinion, they're justified going to town claiming this. Okay? Number two, Wahiga, I received support from so many people in this country.
Did you receive from the Deputy President?
Just get it from me, Wahiga. I received support from so many people, including ODM MPs, including, I mean, so many people gave me money and encouragement and advice in these campaigns, and it would be unfair to single out one human being.
So you did receive some
No. Get it clear for me.
You're not giving me a yes or no answer.
I will not give a yes or no answer on that one, because then if you ask me, for example, did Musalia, did Tangula, did Uhuru Kenyatta, did Raila give me any money? That would be a fair question.
Why them? Why is it different for the deputy president?
Why the deputy president?
Because he tweeted. He was one of the first to come out.
I don't think he's talking about support to me. He's talking about what I've just told you.
Okay.
The ODM brigade went to town saying this campaign is between Ruto and Raila. I never spoke about those people in my campaigns.
Okay.
I don't want to be drawn into the Ruto-Raila war.
And
it's
so
not
you
a
don't,
war.
And so you don't want
MDG has no relationship with the Jubilee coalition. It has no relationship with the ODM. And I don't want to be drawn into the politics of Ruto and Raila.
Final answer on this. That's your final answer?
Yes. I don't want to be drawn in the politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears. How was it campaigning without the backing of a big party? What was your strategy? And you've alluded to it a little bit, but would it have been easier with a big party behind you, Mheshimiwa?
You know, Wahiga, like I told you, the MDG party was started by myself. It wasn't happenstance. It wasn't by mistake. I was a member of ODM already, but I wasn't happy where I was. So I decided that I was going to start a party, which probably I would use to further my political aspirations. So in 2016, I wrote to the ODM party and told them I'm going to participate in the nominations. I'm not going to be part of this. And so I knew that I could win or lose, right? So when I started this small party, I knew what I was going into.
Does it have a national outlook now?
Definitely. I mean, before you start a party, you must open at least 24 county offices. And I opened this office myself, from Mombasa through Kwale, through Taita Taveta, all the way to Pokot. I went to those counties personally.
Where did you get your funds
in 2016.
from?
I mean,
that sounds very expensive.
I mean, I'm a lawyer of very good repute. I'm one of the very few international trade lawyers. And I make money from the work I do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Is what happened in UGENYA a sign? A sign that voters are now looking more towards individuals, more towards personalities rather than parties and waves? What do you make of it?
You know, we live in very interesting times, Wahiga. And what I'm doing is not new. I'll tell you this. In my county where I come from, I have two very important inspirations, two patriots. Raila Amolo Odinga is a serious patriot. In '94, when he's agreed with his colleagues in Fort Kenya, he actually resigned from parliament, formed a party called NDP, and ran it and won the election. Closely thereafter, in '97, my predecessor, James Orengo, when all the Luos were in NDP, he ran in Fort Kenya and won the election.
So what you were doing was effectively nothing new.
It's not new. The only thing that probably is new is that we did this with some level of success in a by-election. And you see, I think the most important thing now here is that our politics must address our people's needs. Our politics must address the day-to-day needs of our electorate. If you're elected and you have a platform you're running on, then you must be true to that platform. You
must be true to that platform.
Yes.
You have less than 3 years in office before 2022.
Yes.
One or two things that you hope to achieve for your people?
First of all, I'm going to invest heavily in education. I've always done so as a human being. I'm going to invest in food security. This is a big problem in my constituency. I'm going to invest in that. I'm going to invest in infrastructure. But above all, I want to give UGENYA the best representation that they can get. The best representation they can get. Yeah. How will you do it, bearing in mind the governor of Siaya, which UGENYA is under, said that if they vote for a non-ODM candidate, then he'll divert development? I wouldn't, like I told you. How will you now engage with the party, the county government, etc. I'm to tell you this. Region? I mean, the work I'm going to be doing as a member of parliament, I'll engage with both national government and county government. It's my role to do so. So we expect to see you with Rasanga shortly. Definitely, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Look, if the work I do as member of parliament requires that I meet President Uhuru Kenyatta, I will look for him and meet him. If it requires that I meet Raila Amolo Odinga, I will meet him. If the work that I'm going to be doing as MP requires that I meet William Ruto, tomorrow I will meet him. If the work I'm doing requires that I meet Rasanga, I'll have no... I mean, I owe this to my constituents. And I'll be foolish to try to create barriers and silos around me in serving the constituents. Fair enough. Thank you so much for your time. You've answered almost all my questions, except one. Which one? Whether you receive support from the Deputy President. I mean, I've told you, I don't want to be drawn into that. You know, we'll leave it at that. Look, Wahiga. I was just going to give you a final chance. If you want to build politics in this country, then you must stop something called personality politics. Okay. You must try to do politics the right way by allowing people in this country to talk about issues. Because if I come to TV now, instead of asking me about issues afflicting UGENYA people, I have asked you're asking me about things that are neither here nor there. Okay. I wouldn't answer those kind of questions because then, like I told you, MDG party, I lead the MDG party. Okay. I have no relationship with Ruto or Raila or Ruru on this. You have no problem with anyone? Zero. We leave it at that.